Room accommodations. One type of accommodations that can be made depend on the room and within the room. The physical features of the room can be accommodated for. 1. Special chairs or cushions, lower or high table or chair, tilted desktop. In other words, trying to make the seating furniture and the writing furniture friendly for the child with the handicap. You may need to raise the child a bit, and so cushions may be required. You may need a lower surface. You may need a tilted or slanted surface for the child to write on. Whatever that accommodation may be, it's accommodation in the physical facility within the room. Any special seating or writing needs must be met. 2. Different or additional lighting, not fluorescent, sitting by a window for natural light. Whether the lighting in the room is sufficient, is the child, especially a child with poor eyesight, in direct light? If not, does the window provide good enough light? Would you need a lamp or special lighting facilities at the desk of this child? These are considerations that need to be made in order to make sure that the needs of the child for fulfilling his obligations for studying are all fulfilled appropriately. 3. Sitting close to the blackboard or teacher, sitting away from others. This is true for a hyperactive child. You don't want a hyperactive child in the middle of a classroom. Worse, you don't want him or her at the back of the classroom. You want that child close to the teacher or the front of the room. So, do you have arrangements where the child can sit next to the board or next to the teacher's desk or right in front? Whatever, change where the student sits or is allowed to sit. A lot of classrooms permit students to sit where they want. Not the best options. Sometimes you as the teacher need to step in and make sure that the student is sitting where you think it is most advantageous for the student to be sitting in the classroom. 4. Stand instead of sitting or sitting instead of standing. Some students work better when they stand, others work better when they sit. And so allowing the student to either sit or stand, because nobody made the rule that you have to sit all the time in the classroom. If you're standing by your desk, you're not disturbing others and you're doing your work, it should be allowed. Standing makes many students work better than sitting does. 5. Picture schedules, visual cues, or visual timer. This is important for the visual learner, the child who learns with the eyes visually. Having visual things in the classroom, including a timer, including schedules, including any cues, instead of saying, do something, show something, so that the child will know this is the cue to do the next task or whatever you require the child to be doing. Quiet times are places to help concentration. When a child finishes work early, quiet times, a reading corner with interesting books where the child can go and sit and read, something that occupies the child instead of giving him another question to do or another worksheet to solve. Those are not interesting for students. When a child finishes in time, he or she needs interesting things to do other than simply another task. Color coding. Color codes help visual learners learn better, organize better, get their act together better, and perform better. So use color codes today. There are paper clips, there are markers for the board, there are highlighters, there are pens with different colors today. There is nothing to stop anyone from color coding, especially if your textbooks are boring black and white print. Visual organization of the room and supplies. How do you arrange the desks and tables? Where are the shelves for the books, the toys, the reading material, the charts, or the supplies for the classroom? Whatever you need to arrange those. Keeping materials for student and handing out as needed. Having enough material on a regular basis. You cannot suddenly one fine day realize you don't have any more pencils. You must have a constant supply. So keeping a track of what you need and making sure you have it is important. Have at least part of the room bare with nothing on the walls, ceilings, or floors. Just don't think that bulletin boards or visual aids help every child to learn. A blank wall with nothing on it helps a lot of young children to learn. After all young children are not visual learners. They will learn nothing by seeing things hanging on the wall. They may learn much more from seeing nothing hanging on a wall and bare walls. So keep in mind who your student population is made up of and make sure that your room accommodations are made keeping all children in mind.